Listen to the radio, Harry and Edna's Wireless Show. You heard it from the Three Bells.
What-o, Harry?
And what-o, Edna, and welcome. It's Harry and Edna on the wireless.
What-ho?
Well, and welcome to Harry and Edna on the wireless. Now, it's normally at this stage, young Edna should be with me, but she's gone off. See, we record this show in our own home, and she's had to go off and deal with our youngest, who apparently is having a Minecraft crisis. I'm not too sure what a Minecraft crisis actually is, but I suspect it's something to do with like a Lego building blocks and things. So it's down to me to tell you what we're going to have today. Well, on today's show, we have vintage singer Heather Marie Little, who's famous for her songs of the 40s and the 50s, and she's pretty international now because after we recorded this interview, she decided to go and move to Melbourne in Australia. So that's what she thought of us.
What ho?
I'm back.
That's why I left the silence just to see if you'd actually reappeared.
I did reappear. I had to disappear off for a crisis. I went down under for a wee bit, just like our Heather Marie. Sorry.
You're the one that talked to her.
I know. I had a brief moment where my brain went completely blank.
Heather Marie Little,
I'm back.
who when we recorded this interview, and then admittedly it was a while ago. Sometimes it takes us a while to get these interviews online, and in the meantime, she got married. She talks about her fiance in the interview, but she's now married.
Yeah,
that's why she's Heather Marie Little now. Oh, and
you just said small.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same sort of size.
I thought she'd gone from being small to little. Thought you were doing a gag there.
And she's now in Melbourne, which isn't really a problem because the Harry and Edna on the Wireless Show, thanks to the power of the internet, is worldwide.
But I think it's worth mentioning now, just in case we forget, if you're interested in booking Heather Marie, only do it if you're listening in Australia.
Or you've got a big bank balance and can pay for the airfare.
Yeah, because she's now based over there.
But she is still performing. And we're also going to be playing some of her tracks from her album At Last, or Last, if you give it the correct terminology.
Last.
Well, she's from Liverpool, so don't they say last as well?
Probably. She may refer to it in her interview. We shall find out.
We shall find out. But we're not going to go straight to her interview. Oh, no. We're going to play the Casa Lama Orchestra and a bit of the Boogie Woogie Man. Then we'll have a bit more of a chit-chat. Then we shall play another track. And then we'll see if we can get her on the telephone.
What ho?
That's it. He's gone now.
Yeah.
He's finished playing his Boogie Woogie Man. In a previous show, we mentioned that we bought a piano. I'm sure we did. We probably did.
We did.
And how the piano was basically condemned by the piano tuner.
Yeah, and bless it, it's a beautiful piano. And
it's sort of now stuck being the Tom Carradine style Cockney sing-along piano because it's so badly out of tune and is untunable. But I was thinking, I wonder if through the power of YouTube you can learn to play Boogie Woogie.
I'm sure, because you'd love to play it, wouldn't you?
I would do. I thought I might give it a go. Give it a challenge to myself to see if I can learn a couple of Boogie Woogie songs.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that hard. I've seen Ben Walters. It really doesn't look that hard.
No, he makes it look so easy. And you don't need any music. You just know it in your head.
Yeah, that's because it's always the same tune.
You reckon?
I reckon it's so.
No, because he plays different songs, so how could it be the same tune?
You just play the notes in a different order.
Right. I'm not sure that's how songs work. I got a suspicion you have to know different scales and melodies and...
When I was younger, back in 1900 and oatcake, that far back, I was known not really for my love of the vintage and 1940s scene, but I used to have, this is where I'm showing my age as well, a Fraggle Rock haircut.
Okay.
You've got to be of a certain age to even know who they are.
Yeah,
they were like
Fraggle Rock.
They were like Muppet characters, and they had lots of spiky hair.
It was Jim Henson Studios.
It was Jim Henson that did it, yeah. And basically, I was a bit of a punk rocker. And there, you only ever needed to play a song was 3 chords. That's all you ever needed, and it's just the different variations of playing that chord. Every single punk song, pretty much, is just 3 chords.
Okay.
So boogie woogie is dumpy 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 dumpy. That's all you got to do.
Really?
And you just got to change the lyrics every now and again.
Okay.
You slow it down if you're doing a bit of sort of bluesy drill.
You sure that's not the double bass you're playing?
Yeah, I can play many an instrument.
That sounded very double bassy to me.
I can play many an instrument. We'll get into trouble, actually, because we do a podcast version of this show, don't we?
Yeah.
And we're not allowed to put music on.
No.
So me going, that's it. They're going to be hit for a PRS, Musicians Union will be going at me.
It'll be scanning, trying to work out what song you're playing.
I think I did say, didn't I, years ago? Actually, it's interesting now. We have the software we use. That plays the music on the radio. It makes suggestions depending on what you're saying and what you should play as your next track. And I said, you said about it scanned and tries to work out the music.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's saying, judging by the music we've played, the next track it's suggesting is Michael Jackson and the Librarian Girl. Not that I've ever heard that track.
You sure it's Librarian?
Was it Liberian?
Liberian Girl.
Maybe. Well,
she's not a librarian.
Do they not have bibliotheques or libraries?
I don't think Michael Jackson sung about a librarian, no.
I don't follow. Glasses on. I don't follow Michael Jackson's music.
I'm fairly confident he didn't.
I remember him in the Jackson 5 with his brothers.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm showing my age.
You are, and he has sort of moved on a bit since the Jackson 5.
I hear he went solo.
He did. He had quite a successful solo career, you know.
That was a while ago.
I think we were only talking earlier about the fact you need your eyes testing in about a month's time, and I think that just highlights that point beautifully.
What, with the Librarian Girl that Michael Jackson plays with?
Yeah, sung about. Anyway, we've dug ourselves a hole.
Yeah. So what we were going to say, to get us out this hole, we're going to speak to Heather Marie on the phone.
Oh, let's do that. Let's change the subject completely.
We're going to change the subject completely. Now, she's not ringing us up from Melbourne. We did this a little while ago. Okay. And as I say, she's now married. So she's Heather Marie Little, not Small. That's her previous name. That was her maiden name, that was.
It's not going well.
And, we are. As I say, we go out all over the world thanks to the power of the internet. So we know we have followers in Australia.
Yeah.
So, g'day, if that's the correct terminology. And we'll go to Heather Marie straight after a little bit of Jack Hilton. And That's You, Baby.
What ho?
Now, Heather is a wartime tribute act and is a professional talented vocalist, bringing the music of the 40s and 50s to life. From wartime favourites through to 50s swing and rock and roll, Heather has wowed audiences throughout the UK with her crystal clear vocals, bubbly personality, vintage glamour and unique stage presence. Heather first discovered a love of singing in high school and went on to progress this through GCSE and A-level theatre studies and amateur dramatics. Heather decided to go professional in September 2009 as a wartime tribute act, 1940s singer, and has since wowed audiences through the UK, performing at private functions and for national charities such as the Royal Air Forces Association and Help for Heroes. In April 2009, Heather was honoured to perform with legendary dance band the Royal Air Force Squadronaires, who themselves had a #1 album in 2010. Heather Marie also teaches singing and has been a vocal coach at the prestigious LIPA, Knutsford part of the Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts. So, Heather, welcome to the show, and does that sum you up correctly, do you think?
Good evening, Harry and Edna. Yes, I think it does. It does indeed, yes.
So, you've been singing on the sort of wartime scene for quite a few years now. Has it changed at all, do you think?
Well, for me, I think it's just got better and better. So I've managed to get out and about to even more events. So it's been wonderful for myself. Yeah. I haven't seen any changes. Like I say, I've been doing more and more events every year, and it's wonderful to see the same old faces and new faces as well.
So is it something that you end up doing full time? I mean, is it something that you can do from January right through? Of course,
yeah, I mean, of course, I would absolutely love to do it full-time, but I do work full-time in the charitable sector as well, so...
Oh, OK, so this is something that you end up doing sort of weekends and all the spare hours you can.
All the spare hours, yes, much to my fiancé's dismay. Yeah. But yes, I mean, last year I had over 90 engagements, so obviously as well as working full-time, that was pretty much every weekend and one night during the week, but, you know, I'm not complaining. I mean, last year was a particularly wonderful year year with Tetra. So yeah, it was a very busy year for myself.
So do you go up and down the country? Because just to explain to some of our overseas listeners, it is a very, very big scene here in the UK, isn't it? These wartime events.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year I was down to Portsmouth for the National Museum of the Royal Navy doing the Armed Forces Day, which I've done there for the past 3 years, and I'm very happy to be asked back to there again this year for Armed Forces Day. I'm down in Cornwall. I'm up in Lancashire. I live in Lincoln now, so I do quite a few gigs around this area as well. So anywhere and everywhere, basically. South Wales, Manchester, Liverpool, all over. So
wow, so you certainly see quite a bit of the UK.
I do, and it's wonderful as well, because you never think that you're going to get to see these places, and then you end up in some little village or some fabulous city, and you never get to see them otherwise. So I'm very privileged.
Oh, brilliant. And you, going back to your roots, really, you studied, did you study singing in GCSEs and A-level theatre studies and amateur dramatics as well? So
yes, that's right. I mean, I did GCSE dance, drama and music. I also did A-level theatre studies, and I was obviously hoping to progress that further, but then, life gets in the way. So that was just one of those things, yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was something that I grew up with. I think I started singing from when I was about 6 years of age, so singing and dancing and annoying everybody. So
with your hairbrush.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah, in front of the mirror.
Yeah. So did you,
all of that.
Did you then take what you had learnt from your sort of theatre studies and amateur dramatics, did that help you create a stage presence and help you with what you do now singing wise?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously all the techniques and things that you learn, through GCSE and A-level and through meeting different people, such as the staff at LIPA, the Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts and places along those lines, you do learn a lot, and that has obviously helped me to form my act as what it is today. So, yeah, that's been really good.
So why did you choose the wartime era?
Well, when I decided to go semi-professional back in 2009, I'd grown up listening to all like swing and big band music and a lot of 1950s, living at home with the parents, listening to a lot of rock and roll music and that kind of thing. Yep. And I was really into that era. And when I decided to go semi-professional, I wanted to kind of expand on that. I knew that I wanted to do that kind of vintage, retro music. Yeah. But I wanted to expand on that, and I discovered the 1940s and just absolutely fell in love with the songs. I mean, I think one of the first songs I heard was one by Joe Stafford, You Belong to Me, which is one of my favourites, one of mine and my fiance's favourites. And I just absolutely fell in love with it, so I decided to go with 1940s. And for me, I think I get more 1940s wartime bookings than I get 1950s now. It was a good decision. Yeah.
So do you go for the whole look? Do you dress up? Do you have your hair in a vintage style?
I do, yes. All the victory rolls and all the roll-ups and everything like that. So yeah, I dress in 1940s. I've got 1940s RAF uniform. Other than that, I wear like 1940s style evening gowns and that kind of thing. And then obviously for the 1950s, I wear the big swing dresses and petticoats and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So do you model yourself on any particular singer, do you say? Or
not particularly, no. I think I've just got my own style and my own kind of thing going on. So I don't particularly style myself on anybody. But obviously, I mean, I love Doris Day and Marilyn and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not blonde, I'm brunette. So, yeah. So those are a bit strange to kind of, model myself on. But that kind of style. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
What ho?
Heather Marie, who's dancing cheek to cheek, taken from her album At Last. Now you're listening to Harry and Edna on the wireless. Now, obviously listening to us on the radio is the perfect way to listen to us, and that's why you guys get a big seal of approval. However, should you wish to listen to this show and all the previous shows, you can do. You just go to harryandedna.co.uk and you can stream the entire back catalogue of Harry and Edna on the wireless. And if that's not enough and you want to take us personally and have a little bit of Harry and Edna with you, you can, because there's downloadable podcasts. I must admit I'm terrible at uploading those, so there's not quite as many of those, but they are there. However, due to Legal reasons, that's it. There's no speech there unless you might have me going rum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. That might still be in there. But apart from that, all the music tracks unfortunately have to be taken out for legal reasons. But you can still hear young Edna and I nattering away like a good nattery person. More Heather Marie coming up straight after Fletcher Henderson and a track called Nakasaki, which I originally got to know through the TV show Jeeves and Wooster, which was done by Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry back in the 80s. If you get to see that, that is a cracking show too.
What ho!
So before we leave you, I just need to quickly ask you, you performed with for the charity Royal Air Forces Association. What was that like as an event? Was it nice? Did you get to meet lots of veterans?
Well, yes, I mean, I'm a member of the Royal Air Forces Association as an associate member from the St Helens branch, because I'm actually from St Helens in Merseyside.
Okay.
But I actually live in Lincolnshire now because my fiancé is in the RAF himself.
Oh, okay.
So he's director of music band of the Royal Air Force Regiment.
So
but yeah, I'm a member of
need a band then, is it, to support you?
Absolutely, yeah, very handy. Yeah.
What you guys doing this weekend?
Yeah.
Sorry,
but yeah, I am a member of the association, and I do a lot of work for them, fundraising through different varying events, fundraising through the sale of my album, which is called Heather Marie at Last, Songs from the 1940s, where proceeds from the sale of the album go to the association Wings Appeal. But yeah, I do, I'm quite good friends with a lot of veterans from my own branch, and this year I'm delighted to be asked back to do the Royal Air Forces Association annual conference, where I'll get to sing alongside my wonderful fiancé, who's also a singer, as well as being director of music. So yeah, so I mean, it's been the second year that I've been asked now to do the annual conference for the association. So obviously it's just wonderful for me to be able to give something back. So.
Oh, fabulous. What a lovely, lovely thing to do. And how do we get your album? Is that on your Facebook page? How we can...
Absolutely, yeah. That's heathermarie.co.uk/shop. I have to put my teeth in for that one.
but you say proceeds go towards the Royal Air Forces?
Proceeds go to the Royal Air Forces Association Wings Appeal.
Brilliant.
And there is going to be something quite exciting being unveiled soon with regards to that. But I can't say any more. So keep an eye on my Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll have to, you'll have to give us a shout when that is, and we'll have to announce it for you.
Oh, that will be lovely. Thank you very much.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome.
What ho!
That's At Last by Heather Marie, on the title track of her album, also known as At Last or At Last, depending on which way you are. I don't know how they say it in Australia, because since we recorded that interview, Heather Marie got married and moved to Australia. She now lives in Melbourne, but according to her website, is available all across that said continent.
Indeed. And
not just Melbourne.
No, so it wasn't just a trip down the road for her, was it? Bless it. She went to the other side of the world.
Yeah, a long way away. That's what happens when you go on Harry Edna on the wireless and you think, you know what, let's conquer the world.
Yeah, let's try life on the other side of the world.
On the other side. We've still got some great more tunes and excitement to come your way. But first, we're going to say it's all excitement around here because we found a bomb.
Well, we didn't. One washed up on the beach near where we are. So Heather Marie went halfway around the world to get some excitement, and we didn't go quite that far. And we've got excitement here, haven't we?
Yes, because we just live a few. Well, is it even yards? It's not even half a mile, is it, from the pier?
No.
No. So a few yards from the pier, and they found a bomb on the pier. An old bomb, very old bomb.
I thought it washed up on the beach.
No, it's by the pier.
Oh, but it wasn't. It's not on the pier. It's underneath the pier,
or around said pier.
Yeah, I was just trying to paint the right picture in people's head. They might sort of come along and think somebody just left a bomb on the pier. So what it was something unidentified washed up onto the beach, and then they obviously identified it, and it was not a World War II bomb.
No, it went a long way back. It was older than our house, and that's old.
Yeah, this bomb was from 1840, which was incredible.
Well, I think it's a shell.
Well, a shell. But they blew it up, so it must be a bomb, therefore, isn't it?
Well, even shells go bang.
Oh, I see, okay. But it was a bomb, a shell.
Not a seashell.
No. So something
a thing that gets fired out of a gun. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, not a
but
seashell.
Not a little gun, a big gun.
Yes, that was it.
So we were wondering, I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago, we talked about when they, during the Napoleonics and after into Victorian, they sort of developed, went from cannons to big firing guns, and they were practicing against the needles.
Smooth bore to rifled guns.
When people say guns, I think of guns that men carry, but I'm trying to describe these are much bigger than that.
Now, you see, our son will tell you off for that. For he's in the British Army Cadets, and he says guns are what artillery is. It is just merely a small weapon system.
So, men carry rifles, yeah? Is this where I'm getting it wrong? So
I'll let you explain it.
Army men don't carry guns?
No, because apparently, so he tells me, in army terms, guns are artillery pieces and bigger.
Okay. So what I was trying to define was that it's not a gun, like a small gun a man carries. It was a big gun. And they used to fire them in practice on the side of the cliff that leads up to the Needles. Yeah,
there's an area of a cliff face which is known as the Needles.
It's a chalky cliff face.
It's sort of like, and there's an area where the other bank overlooks it, not bank because it's a seashore, is it? But overlooks it, and apparently they used to take pot shots at the side of the cliff to practice firing their guns.
So we wondered, getting round in full circle, whether it was one of those that must have just hit the water but not exploded, whether that got washed up against the pier.
Who knows?
Who knows? See?
And we're not going to find out because it's gone bang.
Yeah, but we've had quite a few recently. That was the other excitement. So the Royal Navy Bomb Disposal Squad have been whizzing past our house several times.
They keep going on the Isle of Wight ferry.
Yes. They'll probably get back to the mainland and they get a call to come back again. That's what it's been like lately.
It has rather. Well, quickly, we've got to play some Chick Webb or else we're going to run out of time and all these great tunes. So it's the Harlem Congo.
What ho?
And that's it. Our hour is up.
Oh no!
There is
just
no
as
more...
we got your feet stomping, and
that was it. And we were chatting long distance to Heather Marie in Melbourne. Well, actually, she wasn't. She was living in Lincolnshire when we did that interview, but she's living in Melbourne now. But it's that time for me to say toodle pip, and I'm sure it'll be a good day, mate, from Heather Marie,
and a tinkety tonk from me.
What ho?